Hello YouTube, Chrome Freak here. I know I told you last time I made a video I'm going to move it to the room in there where my daughter used to stay and film in there, and we're in the midst of actually changing things around and fixing the room up. I don't know, give me about a month and I'll be filming in there. And I'm going to try to make at least one video a week. I've been out of town here the last week and a half. I was able to get home last weekend and I made the last video I did, and I'm home this weekend. I'm making another. However, when I'm traveling and I'm working on the road, it's very, very hard for me to do. We work a lot of hours on the road, and the last thing I really want to do is film, to be honest with you, when I'm on the road. But at home, I love doing it. I actually enjoy it. I love guns. I love talking guns. I love everything gun. Everybody knows that. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Makarov pistol here today. This little pistol was designed by Nikolai Fedorovich Makarov in roughly about 1950 and adopted into the Russian forces in 1951. And it's a mainstay. It's still there today. That tells you a little something about the reliability and the endurance of this little pistol. It's in 9x18 Makarov. Compared to a 9mm Parabellum, which is a 9x19, and a 380 round, which is a 9x17, this falls right into the middle there. On ballistics, it's pretty close on range ammo to a 9mm Parabellum or Luger, however you want to say it, ballistically. However, the Parabellum rounds with self-defense rounds, the Makarov's not going to touch it. But with that said, this makes a nice little carry piece that is of a medium-sized round and will do well as a carry concealed weapon. And because of the price of this, it's not a cheap gun, but it's a very affordable gun. I don't like using the word cheap because cheap means garbage. This is anything but garbage. The reason that these guns are so affordable is there's just such a vast supply of them. It's a supply and demand issue. If you want to get yourself a very reliable, well-made, and a gun that's going to last you a long time, and you know what? It works. They work. I'm not going to say they never have problems. I've rarely had problems. I do have a problem with this one I had last time I went shooting, and I will tell you about that here in a minute. But I've fed this thing everything from hollow points, ball ammo, it just eats everything. Really no problems at all. The main objective Mr. Makarov had when he was designing this from the Russian government was they wanted something, like I said, reliable, compact, easy to carry around, and of a medium-sized caliber, and he came up with this. And he did a great job, because you know what? It's still in use today, and that just got to say something. We're talking 60-plus years now. It's a long time. It's a long time for a gun. It's a double action into single action. Let's check for safety. Put the safety on. I'm sorry guys, I just did it again. And she's clean. I knew she was. We checked her before I started this. Anyway, she's got three safeties actually. It's got a slide safety, a hammer safety. It's got a free floating firing pin. Now what it's got is it's got a decocker. I consider that a safety. You're going to decock the gun, and with a round in the pipe, there's no way the hammer is going to get to the firing pin and the firing pin get to the round. And I'm going to show you why. Let's load her up, take her back up, safety. I'm not sure if you guys could see in here, but on the safety itself, there's a little piece that pops out, and that's what your hammer is going to drop on, preventing the hammer from actually getting onto the firing pin. It's a very nice design. It's a great decocker, and it's safe. Of course, common sense comes into play. Anytime you decock it, you want it to be in a safe direction. You know, use your heads, guys. Anyway, it's some of these 9x18 Makarovs have been converted to 380. It's got a fixed blade front sight, a dovetail fixed rear sight on the militaries. This is a Bulgarian, and it's a military, and it's a fixed sight. The Russians on the military versions were fixed sights, and on the civilian versions, I guess you could call them, they had adjustable sights on them. Now these fixed rear sights here can actually, I can't speak tonight, be adjusted for windage but not elevation. You gotta be very gentle and take your time, but you can adjust side to side a little bit, and it's not going to hurt a thing. Although out of the factory, I got to tell you, these things are very accurate. With the fixed barrel in there, very, very accurate. It's got a 3.3-inch barrel. Like I said, it's fixed. It's a 4-groove right-hand twist. The loaded weight is 1.71 pounds. The length is 6.34 inches. And the prices on these things vary from probably $150 well up into $600–700 for ones made in true Russians, and Chinese, by the way, are the most sought after by collectors, but some of them come in stainless or nickel, and they go for top dollar. You can feel comfortable going and spending $150–200 on a little reliable 9x18 Makarov like this, and that's exactly what I did. I carry it in this Phobos paddle holster, and I actually fits in there quite nicely. I mean, real nice. It's not going anywhere. And I usually carry this in my work bag. Every now and then, I will carry it on my side, concealed. But for the most part, it's a gun that I carry with me. I throw in a bag. I don't care. I don't worry about scratches on it. And you know what? It's unbelievable that this thing, with knives, tools, everything else I carry in my bag, this thing gets banged up and dinged up, and it's amazing. The finish on these things are very, very endurable. I mean, I don't have a scratch on this thing. Anyway, I got a, it's an 8-round magazine it holds. Although there are some 10 and 12 double stacks on the certain Russian pistols, Makarov pistols, they do have feeding problems, especially on the last 2 or 3 rounds. I've heard all kind of nightmare issues on them. However, these single stack 8-round mags right here, I've never had a problem, and I got quite a few friends who've bought these pistols, and I've never heard of anybody having any kind of feeding issues at all. Let me tell you about the problem I'm having now. This started when I went to break the GI 45 in last weekend or weekend before, and I loaded the gun up, and I went to fire double action on the first shot, and it wouldn't fire. And I said, what's going on here? Finger off the trigger. Always be safe. I'm pointing it down range at the target. Decock it. And now this should be double action. Let me show you what's going on. You pull it back. It's not engaging. Now you barely touch it, and it goes off. And I had a round. I'm pointing down range, and I'm checking this pistol, and it worked. Single action is fine. The double action is not working. And I've taken the gun apart, I've cleaned it, I've taken and when I tell you I've taken it apart, I've taken everything, the sear out, the hammer out, the trigger out, down to nothing. And I don't see anything wrong with anything. So this one's beyond me. I'm gonna have to take it to a gunsmith, and we're gonna have to figure out, maybe we gotta do a little grinding or something on the sear, but I don't see, not a mark on it. I don't see a problem, so I don't know what's going on with it. I'm pretty good at self-gunsmithing, but this one's a little above my head. Anyway, let's get into the serial numbers on this thing. The serial numbers are located on the left-hand side of the gun, and the first 2 letters are actually the production series. The next 2 numbers is going to be the year code. It won't be the years. Like in this case, it's 25. That's a code. You go online, you find a serial number code, and I did, and this was made in 1985, and the last 4 numbers are going to be the unit number in that series. Now I want to warn you guys, I highly recommend any gun collector or anybody who just loves guns, for the price of these, they're awesome. You can't beat them. And I recommend everybody go out and get one, but you have to watch it, especially at these gun shows. I'm already at 9 minutes. That's my warning right there. Be careful, guys, be careful out there, because I've heard guys tell me, oh, I got a Polish Makarov. You don't have a Polish Makarov, because there's no such thing. What you have is you have a pistol designed and chambered in 9x18 Makarov, and it will even say 9x18 Makarov on the pistol, but it's not a Makarov. 5 countries produced Makarovs, and we've got to hurry here: Russia, East Germany, China, Bulgaria, and then a unified Germany. So if you say you got a Polish or a Hungarian Makarov, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you don't. So guys, do your homework, go to Makarov.com, and you will find out all the information you could ever dream about getting on this little pistol, and I highly suggest you do that. I gotta hurry here. Like I said, they're chambered in 9x18. But if their parts are not interchangeable, I could take the parts off of this Bulgarian and use them in a Russian, a German, a Chinese. They will all interchangeable. If you cannot use the parts and put it into another Makarov, it's not a Makarov, guys. So please do your homework. Don't get ripped off. I gotta go. I thought I'd have a lot more time here, and I don't. Just want to let you guys know I have switched over from Rem oil to Ballistol. I wanted to give it a try, and it's everything everybody said it was. And I guess we got to get out of here. I really wanted to go over the different sizes of the rounds and show you the difference between the 380, the 9mm, and the 9x18 Makarov, but I guess I don't have time, so I'm sorry I rushed this. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you to the new subs. Thank you for everybody that's watching, and I invite all to sub and comment. Thank you so much. Good night. Out.